The story of the Devel 16 begins like a fever dream, sketched in the heat of the Gulf. Three Emirati brothers, obsessed with speed and spectacle, decided in the early 2010 to build a hypercar that would not just compete with the finest machines on Earth, but make the idea of finest obsolete. The brothers, Majid, Rashid, and Mohammed Al-Attar, took inspiration from fighter jets and aerospace design, and by 2013 and 2014, they began showing the world the first signs of that ambition. At the 2014 Dubai International Motor Show, a concept car appeared that looked like a spacecraft. Along with it came numbers so extreme they sounded like science fiction: a 12.3-liter quad turbo V16, a claimed 5,007 horsepower, roughly 3,757 pounds-feet of torque, and a projected top speed of about 348 miles per hour. These figures launched the Devel 16 straight into automotive legend, whether legend or reality. There are two parallel engineering tracks in this story. The first is the physical car, including the body, chassis, and brand identity. The 16's exterior is intentionally extreme, a mid-engine two-door shape stretched to supercar proportions, with butterfly doors, a long wheelbase, and surfaces meant to evoke a jet fighter more than a road car. Devel claimed carbon fiber construction, custom aerodynamic work, a carbon monocoque, and four-wheel drive to manage the massive torque of the V16. The second engineering track is the engine itself. The 12.3-liter V16 is not an off-the-shelf exotic. It is a near-mythical assembly built to deliver numbers previously seen only in purpose-built dragsters. Developed in the United States with a specialist engine shop, the V16 is essentially two high-performance V8 merged together with a custom crank, four large turbochargers, a dry sump system, and reinforced internals. On a test dyno, the engine produced its headline figure, 5,007 horsepower at high RPM, which proved that the claim was at least possible in a controlled setting. Even with the engine dyno tested and the body on display, turning that laboratory achievement into a road-legal production hypercar proved far more complicated than early press releases suggested. Between the 2014 unveiling and a more complete production reveal in 2017, the project evolved. Devel began describing three tiers: a flagship V16 at full output, a detuned V16 road version, advertised at about 3,000 horsepower, and a more accessible twin-turbo V8 model for customers who wanted the 16 look and high performance without extreme complexity. The company presented this as a practical decision, a concession to manufacturing, safety, drivability, and global regulations. It also quietly acknowledged the gulf between dyno results and a fully homologated car. Several major hurdles became public. Finding a transmission capable of surviving the enormous torque was repeatedly described as a showstopper. Cooling, high-speed aerodynamics, suspension design able to control nearly 4,000 pound-feet of torque, and tires that could survive speeds well above 300 miles per hour are not simple engineering problems. They required custom solutions, expensive testing, and development time measured in years. Devel's leadership admitted that parts such as gearboxes and driveline assemblies were the key limits of the project. The engine existed, but integrating it into a safe and drivable car was another challenge entirely. Progress came in waves. The V16 dyno runs were widely shared and became the most concrete technical achievement in a story otherwise filled with renders and promises. The engine ran, and the dyno sheet showed numbers that were impossible to ignore. Yet that success did not immediately translate into customer cars. In 2021, Devel delivered what it called a production car to a customer, but the vehicle reportedly used a twin-turbo V8 rather than the quad-turbo V16. That V8 version, claiming around 2,000 horsepower in its highest tune, highlighted a practical truth. Producing a few highly tuned V8 specials is far easier than building fully engineered and certified V16 hypercars. The V8 delivery also raised questions about marketing versus actual execution. Beyond the mechanical challenges, there were signs that the project had moved beyond the drawing board. By early 2022, a Devel prototype was filmed, driving on public roads. The footage showed a working chassis, a gearbox shifting through gears, and a clear internal combustion soundtrack. This was a meaningful step, evidence of a drivable platform rather than a static showpiece. However, the footage did not include any high-speed testing. There have been no independently verified 0 to 60 times or sustained top speed runs on closed tracks. The 16's headline claims, including sub-2-second acceleration and top speeds above 350 miles per hour, remain unproven in real-world conditions. Modern hypercar credibility depends on certified timing, independent testing, and recorded performance. Without these, the 16's reputation rests mostly on dyno data and promotional demonstrations. The Devel story is also one of marketing and mythology. The brothers attracted celebrity attention and used the spectacle of Dubai, motor shows, and publicity events to push the 16 into the global car conversation. This exposure helped build the brand and attract potential buyers, but it also created expectations that became harder to meet once the challenges shifted from design to engineering. At times, the company promoted multiple projects at once, including talk of a 6x6 diesel truck called the 60 and future hybrid or electric models. These showed ambition, but also stretched focus. Technically, the V16 deserves a moment of respect. Merging two high-performance engine architectures into a coherent 16-cylinder unit requires precise balancing, synchronized engine management, and extremely strong internal components. The shop that handled the dyno tests reinforced the block, tuned the turbo housings and fuel systems, and used a dry sump system to control oil. These are not simple tasks. They reflect deep experience with extreme forced induction engines. The dyno results, while achieved in a controlled environment, demonstrate a level of raw power engineering that is rare. Yet the story remains unfinished. Based on the most recent public information, no confirmed delivery of a road-legal 16 powered by the full V16 has occurred. The prototype footage and dyno results are real, but there has been no complete, verified demonstration of the car's capabilities. Devel's timeline has slipped repeatedly. Plans for a limited production run of only a few cars per year have been announced and then delayed. This is common in boutique hypercar development, where the gap between concept and production often narrows only after many years of testing, redesign, and investment. What separates the 16 from its rivals is not only its claimed horsepower, but the path to certified performance. Other manufacturers invest in independent timing runs, verified records, and detailed engineering data that supports their claims. Devel's 5,007 horsepower figure is spectacular, but at the moment it exists on a dyno sheet rather than in a record book. For enthusiasts, this leaves an open question. Is raw power on a dyno enough to call something the world's fastest car? Or must that power be proven in a repeatable and regulated real-world test? What do you think about the Devel 16? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.